So I wanted to talk to you about what you need to do in order to buy a home, what your steps are, who you need to speak with, and how to move forward. So the first step is determining what your budget is. Now, a lot of times people figure they're just going to go see a mortgage broker or their local banker. However, these individuals usually will let you borrow more than what you might be comfortable in doing. So before you go see someone, figure out your own budget. And I'm going to do a video on that as well. But we just want to figure out, this is what I feel comfortable spending every month. If you're currently renting, try and find something similar to what you're doing now. If you're living at home or living with roommates, figure out what it is that you can do. Your best bet, if you have the time, is put that money aside every month, either the difference between what your roommates are paying and you going out on your own, or if you're living at home, or if you are thinking of buying and you're currently renting. If you're currently renting at $800 a month and the place you want to buy is going to cost about $1,000, see if you can live with putting an extra $200 a month in savings to make up that difference. That's the easiest way of doing it, but a lot of times people don't want to spend that much time. So calculate your budget ahead of time. That is your first step. Now that you know what you feel comfortable doing, you want to find a mortgage broker or a banker. If you don't know someone, reach out to me. I can probably find you someone. I know individuals that do loans all across the country. But there are, again, we'll have another video on all the different types of loans. But when you're looking for a mortgage broker, you want to find somebody who's going to qualify you ahead of time. Okay? There's a pre-qualification that a lot of times people think that they need to do. Everyone uses these terms differently, but you don't necessarily want just a pre-qualification. This is just saying, yeah, I make $1,000 a month, you qualify to pay $300 a month. We'll go through all that again, how they calculate that, but you want someone who's actually going to pre-approve you. They want to see your tax returns. They want to see your pay stubs. They want to see where your money, how much money you have saved and how long it's been there. If they're not asking for these documents, they're probably not pre-approving you, they're just pre-qualifying you. And a pre-qualify from most people's standards is probably just trying to see, hey, you're tied to me, I'm going to get this business a little bit later, we'll figure it out later. You want someone that's actually going to do it for you now. So now you have somebody for your financing. The next thing that you want to have lined up is your home inspector. Home inspectors, every state is different. I'll probably have, again, another short video for each of these different topics. But a home inspector in Ohio is limited generally to what it is you paid for the report. So let's say you hire a home inspector to come out and check out the property for $350. They give you a report, and later it comes to find out that the basement is leaking and the foundation is collapsing in. It's going to cost you $10,000 to fix. It's very likely that you might be limited to the $350 that you paid for that. It's a longer story, lots of circumstances, but again, we'll get into that in another video, but you want to find a home inspector. If you have a friend that's in the trades, so an electrician, a plumber, a carpenter, have them maybe check out the house for you. Generally, someone who's in the trades can give you a rough idea of if there's something going wrong on the property. They work just as well as a home inspector, in my opinion. A lot of times people will use the home inspector for trying to lower the property, the sales price of the house. I do not recommend this. Most realtors would not recommend this, but some people do it anyway. So a common thing that happens is you negotiate a price for the house, you do an inspection, the inspector comes in and gives you a list of all these items. And it's going to cost you $7,000 to fix them. They're going to ask for a $7,000 reduction on the price. Most of these items are there. I don't recommend that you try and get the price lowered, but if, let's say, there are safety concerns, if you didn't see the fact that the electrical panel is out of date, or they had a fuse box that is not really supported, or your insurance company may not allow, or if the roof life is less than a year, you may want to have those things negotiated on the price. However, if something is, let's say, a new hot water tank, you agreed to a price on the house, a new hot water tank will benefit you much more than the seller. So maybe instead of saying that the seller has to pay 100% of that, you'd come up with a good percentage. So now you have a home inspector lined up or a friendly contractor that you know and trust. I usually recommend going with a realtor. You have for sale by owners that you can deal with. There's lots of websites for this. But when you're looking for a realtor, you want to find somebody that's going to really sit down and talk to you. You want somebody that is going to ask you what you can afford, make sure that you've been pre-approved someplace, and make sure that they understand what it is you're looking for. A lot of times people are saying, well, I want the realtor to show me the 10 houses every night, sending me lists of things. They can send you a list of things, quite honestly. But, excuse me, but you want to make sure that they're finding you a property and they're asking the questions ahead of time. How many bedrooms? How many square feet? What neighborhoods are you looking for? So that they're only going to maybe show you 3 to 5 houses. I would say if they're showing you 20 or 30 houses, either you're not conveying what you really want, or perhaps they're not sure how to find what it is you're looking for. It should not take more than 10 houses to see. Sometimes it does. I'm just saying on average, you should be able to find it within about 10. Again, if you don't know a realtor, I can recommend someone to you. If you are a realtor and you're seeing this and you'd like me to recommend to you, feel free to reach out. I'd set up a call with you, and hopefully we might be able to send some business to you. Next, you need a title company. A lot of realtors own the title companies. I do not recommend going with realtors who own a part of the title company. The title company is the person who's going to be the unbiased third party to make sure everything works right. And if they're owned by the realtor, if they're owned by the mortgage broker, if they're owned by somebody else, I don't feel that they can properly do this. So try and find a title company that is independent. The title company has to be licensed by the state, at least in Ohio. I think there's 2, maybe 3 states. I know Colorado doesn't require licensing, or it might be a little bit different than how Ohio works. But check to see that they're licensed with your state. If you have questions, feel free to contact your realtor. They would know. The title company, as I said, is somebody who's going to make sure everything goes out. The reason why you want to know who it is that you're using, you want to feel comfortable with them. You want to make sure that you have their wiring instructions. You want to know where they're located. There is a lot of wire fraud going on these days where someone will hack into your account, see that you're buying a house, wait until it comes time to close, hack into your account when they email you the closing documents. When they email them to you, they'll delete them, create a free account somewhere that looks like it came from them, give you wiring instructions that go to their personal account. You will go to the bank, you'll wire the money. The title company will confirm that they did email you the wiring instructions, and now the money is gone. There is no way to get it back. There's nothing you can do. Just out of luck. So I would recommend finding a title company that is reputable, making sure that you know it is them. Again, I can refer these to you as well. But the title company is going to make sure that everything goes smoothly and that the stuff goes through as it should. So after you get your wiring instructions in your email, call the person that you're already familiar with and verify them over the phone. That way you make sure that it is done correctly. Then you also have to line up, if you don't already have it, someone to sell you homeowner's insurance. Again, I can refer these out to you if you like. But if you know somebody, go with the person that you know. You feel comfortable with them. They're going to be insuring the home. Usually you get a discount if you can package your car with it. If you currently have renter's insurance, they should be able to also probably sell you a homeowner's policy. Make sure that you ask your questions. See if you have flood, if you need it, if you're in an area that has hurricanes. Talk to your agent. Make sure you're talking to somebody who knows what it is that they're doing. Again, if you sell that kind of stuff and you'd like me to refer people over to you in that area, please reach out so that I can get to know you and feel comfortable referring you out. So now we're at the fun part, trying to actually find a home. You can look online, you can drive around in the neighborhoods. I would recommend driving around in the neighborhoods that you're looking for so that you can see, hey, there's a lot of kids. People are driving fast on this street. They have block parties. What is the condition of the house? Make sure that you feel comfortable going over there. If you like the areas, you're going over there, go at night. Don't just go for the open houses. The open houses are people wearing their Sunday best. So you want to make sure you go after hours. You want to go on a Friday night. See what kind of noise the neighbors are making. Once you've found a house, you've negotiated a price. And that can be a whole another hour of discussions on how you negotiate. But let's say it's already done. You had a realtor helping you with it. I will do a video on each of these different steps. But you found the house. You signed the purchase agreement. Now you have the due diligence. You have to have the inspections done. You call your home inspector, tell them to go out there and look at the property. You give the purchase agreement to the title company and to your mortgage broker so that they can start doing their stuff, making sure everything is up to date, making sure they can order an appraisal. All that fun stuff is happening. We are now moving forward. You are just sort of sitting back. You want to make sure that you either talk to the title company, to the realtor, to the seller to get a list of all the utilities. The utilities are currently on for all the inspections, that they're going to stay on until the day of closing, and that you know who to contact with account numbers so that you can get them turned into your name the day of closing. There is nothing worse. There are a few things worse, but it is a pain to try and get utilities turned on. If they turn them off the day of closing, you didn't contact anyone until the day after, and so now you have to wait a week or two before someone's going to come out and turn on those utilities. And if you're in Cleveland in December or February where it's freezing cold and the gas got turned off, your pipes are going to freeze. You're going to end up with tens of thousands of dollars of damage because the utilities just weren't called in a day ahead of time. Make sure you call and set that up before closing so they do not get turned off and it's a seamless transition. Now that you have the utilities gotten, you talk to your insurance company so that they can get the insurance put together. You don't have to pay for it up front. Generally, they'll get paid at closing. You just have the invoice go to the title company. They'll make sure that's done. There are two types of closings. The title company, let's say everything is ready, the mortgage is done, the inspections are done. 2 days before closing, you walk through the house again to make sure nothing has changed, that the seller hasn't, stripped out that light fixture, that somebody hasn't come and vandalized it. Everything is the way that it should be. It's now time to close. You have roundtable closings and escrow closings. In Ohio, we generally do escrow closings. A roundtable is everyone sitting around the table. You have a banker there, you have the realtors there, you have the title company there, you have the buyer there, the seller there. Everyone signs everything, everyone shares documents, everyone gets their money and their checks right then and there. This is why it's important to have a title company that's reputable, knows what they're doing for the escrow closing. The buyer and the seller never meet. The realtors sometimes do, sometimes don't show up to the meetings. Mortgage brokers generally don't. I know a few that do. But you want to make sure everything goes smoothly. The title company's sending someone out to your house usually, or you come in and see them. You're going to sign all of the documents. Understand that in Ohio, if you're buying a house, we have dower rights here, which means that a spouse has to sign off even if they're not going to be on title. So everything gets signed. The title company makes sure that all the documents are correct. They give them to the bank. The bank makes sure that they're okay with them. They send the money to the title company. The title company then goes to the county where they're going to record the deed and record the new mortgage, and they make sure nothing new has happened. There's no new liens, that the seller still owns the property. Everything is good. If everything is good, they record the deed, they record the mortgage, then they give the money to the seller, and they pay all the other liens and everything else the way it should be. The title companies should then follow up within 30 days to make sure that the mortgages from the previous company, from the previous owner have been released, and they will then give you an owner's policy, providing you bought owner's title insurance, which I can't imagine anyone not doing that. But you buy an owner's title policy from your title company. They will guarantee that you own the property, and this is the only insurance I know of that will insure you from the day you purchased it into the past, where most insurance policies are from the day you purchased it into the future, like your homeowners, your car insurance, your life insurance. It's from the day you purchased it. Title insurance is from the day you bought it into the past, nothing into the future for new liens. Make sure all your utilities are good. Make sure your insurance is set up. We've signed all the documents. keep those paperworks. In Ohio, everything seems to be recorded with the county, so it's not likely that you're going to have to hold on to that original deed forever. You can always get a new one from the county for $1. You're going to probably get some stuff in the mail saying you need a certified copy of your deed. We can get that for you for $35. As I said, you can go to the county and get it for $1. Most of these are scams. You don't need to do it. You may also get a bunch of people saying you need life insurance for your mortgage. We can do this for you. Generally, these individuals are going to overcharge you and underprotect you. Contact your life insurance person that you feel comfortable with, someone that you already have a policy with, and say, hey, if I pass away, I want to make sure that my mortgage is going to be paid. You don't want something that's going to go down in value to just pay off the mortgage. It just doesn't seem to make sense. Everyone's in a different boat, but talk to someone that you feel comfortable with. Don't go with the solicitations that are coming in the mail. If you don't know someone, contact me. I'll refer you out to somebody who does this kind of stuff, or give you a few different names. If you do this, contact me, and I'd be happy to get to know you a little bit more and feel comfortable referring you out. When you're doing your closing and signing all your documents, this is important. They're going to come out with about 80 pages of documents that you need to sign off on. I think in 15 years, 2 people have read all those documents. You have a right to read them. You can read them after the closing. However, the things that you want to make sure are correct are, make sure that the settlement statement is correct. This is going to show how much you're paying for the property, where all the money is coming from, and where all the money is going. Follow all that. If that all makes sense, you're probably okay. The next document that you should make sure you read is the promissory note. If you're borrowing money from a bank, this is going to show how much you're borrowing, what the terms are. Is it fixed? Is it adjustable? How long you have to pay it back? All the terms on there. If you're escrowing any of your taxes, insurance, homeowners association dues, that should have another separate document and how much you're paying for that. Make sure those documents are correct. There is a truth in lending, a lot of government forms that are on there. These are somewhat confusing to many, many people. The truth in lending is helpful before you go and get a loan, because it's a way of comparing everything. We'll go over that another time. But if you look at the settlement statement, the note, and probably the escrow document, if all those seem okay, you're probably all right. If you have questions, make sure you ask. But once those documents are okay and you sign everything, just hold on to them. You're going to probably need them in case there's a problem in the future, but scan them in. Most title companies should be able to give you a PDF document. But now you're done. You're a homeowner. Congratulations. Ohio is buyer beware, so if you find out later that there was something missing, you didn't know about something, you might be stuck with it, but understand that's why you're doing your due diligence ahead of time. I hope this helps. Feel free to move in, enjoy your new home, and congratulations. Looking forward to giving you some more videos.